Why China created an incredible plan to become the most powerful country in the world. China aims to become the world's dominant power, but their path is uncertain. They have seen significant economic and global growth with a powerful military and nuclear weapons and a thriving economy. They expand their influence through military force and diplomacy, even challenging major powers like the US with controversial actions. However, China faces challenges such as an aging population due to the one-child policy and the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Their authoritarian policies and international hesitancy to invest have affected their economy. Despite this, China continues to assert itself as a rising superpower, increasing its naval program and showing aggression in the South China Sea, possibly motivated by Taiwan's semiconductor factories. Whether China plans to invade Taiwan or use it as leverage remains unclear. China is still making big moves, but their path to superpower status remains uncertain. One option is to focus on dominating Asia and becoming the regional power. They already have a strong military and navy that can challenge neighboring countries. However, relying solely on military strength could lead to challenges and opposition, especially if the United States supports China's opponents. China's aggression is primarily directed towards Taiwan, but they also assert dominance in the South China Sea by setting up bases in disputed areas. China aims to expand its power without invading other countries' land. They are constructing artificial islands in disputed areas of the South China Sea and using them as military bases. This allows them to exert influence and control over neighboring countries' security decisions, making China their primary ally instead of the United States. However, many countries in the region, such as Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan, have strong ties with the US and are unlikely to bow to Chinese demands. Additionally, countries like the Philippines, Vietnam, and India are becoming more open to aligning with the United States due to concerns over China's regional expansion. China faces opposition in a limited number of potential allies in its quest for power. China has natural allies in Pakistan and North Korea due to their conflicts with India and Western-aligned countries. By coordinating with these nations, China gains leverage and aims for regional dominance. Interestingly, China's path to success may involve playing the role of peacemaker with support from its ally Russia. Russia's involvement in Syria has made it a military power in the region, and its proximity to Israel adds to its influence. Israel, under pressure from Western allies, refrains from providing extensive military aid to Ukraine to avoid angering Russia. This dynamic showcases the role of regional powers in shaping conflicts and interventions. One major challenge for China's path to controlling Asia is convincing the countries in the region to accept its rise instead of resisting it. The entrenched interests and current alliances of countries like South Korea, Japan, and India make it difficult for China to sway them. Seizing Taiwan, a key player in the semiconductor market, could be crucial for China's regional influence. However, China's actions have pushed other countries closer to the United States. Considering the historical pattern of the US, analysts believe China's rise may also begin in the East before expanding further, just as the US did in their own rise to power. China has taken a different path than the US by avoiding heavy involvement in Africa, which was colonized by European powers. Expanding from a supportive base is the easiest way to become a dominant power. However, Asia still feels the effects of World War II and the Korean War, making it difficult to displace the US. China has been making aggressive moves in Asia, claiming to build an Asia for Asians as an anti-colonial effort. Yet its progress in the region is limited due to rising powers that remain aligned with the US. China has turned to a riskier strategy of exerting influence globally through economic investment and soft power. By presenting itself as a better investor than the US, China can attract countries and bring them into its sphere of influence. Nations under US sanctions like North Korea, Venezuela, and Iran have become loyal allies to China through trade. Additionally, the invasion of Ukraine by Vladimir Putin opened up new opportunities for China. This new path to global domination is not without risks, as major power invasions were unheard of in the modern world. After Russia faced global economic sanctions, China became one of its few supporters, providing goods and resources while Russia accumulated debt. China also supports Venezuela, which is isolated due to its leader's corruption and authoritarian policies. China's support in the region is seen as a counterbalance to the US. In Africa, a rapidly growing continent, countries are becoming more democratic and stable with improved living standards and technological advancements. Many African countries are eager to leverage their newfound influence. Africa, rich in resources and with vast development potential, is seen as the next big investment opportunity. However, the continent still carries the scars of colonialization by European powers like France, the UK, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Germany. Discriminatory systems and the legacy of the slave trade have left lasting grudges and mistrust. While the US had limited involvement in Africa, China is making a significant impact through trade and investments. China's Belt and Road Initiative, a global infrastructure development plan, aims to expand its influence by building partnerships and infrastructure in other countries, including those in Africa. China is creating a foothold in Africa through various projects such as ports, railways, airports, and factories. They invest in infrastructure, electronics production, and resource extraction, providing employment opportunities for Africans. Unlike European or American investors, China is seen as a neutral player without historical baggage. One nation that has caught China's interest is Djibouti, located in the Horn of Africa. Its strategic position near the Red Sea and the Indian Ocean makes it crucial for refueling and shipping. Djibouti hosts military bases of several foreign powers, including China. Although China has fewer permanent military bases abroad compared to the US, its presence in Djibouti demonstrates its expanding influence beyond Asia and the Pacific. China has been establishing military bases in strategic locations such as Jabi and potentially Namibia to support logistics, peacekeeping, and humanitarian efforts. Their efforts to expand into Africa have been successful, and encounters between Chinese and American soldiers in the region have been tense. China's long-term goal seems to be positioning itself at the center of a network of trade, economic, military, and digital cooperation across continents. While maintaining an assertive approach in its regional sphere, China also aims to be seen as a benevolent partner abroad, particularly in developing countries. This dual strategy enhances China's influence and could potentially give them an advantage in the event of a conflict. China maintains strategic ambiguity, unlike Russia, by presenting itself as the underdog and portraying the US as an aggressive hegemon. The specific path China will take in the long run remains uncertain. China has two paths to choose from. The first path involves reclaiming Taiwan and asserting control over the South China Sea, which are long-standing goals of the Chinese Communist Party. The second path focuses on expanding China's global influence through initiatives like the Silk Road. Both paths have high risks and rewards. It seems that China's strategy is to continue expanding its influence globally before potentially shifting towards the first path when the timing is right. For more information on the US conflict with China, you can explore the impact of Taiwan and why some believe China will not become a global superpower.